Hey, Mr. Lee here. So you're gonna be solving more complex equations from the standpoint of fractions and decimals. Okay, so today is actually just back to one-step and two-step equations, but you're really gonna have to apply your knowledge of reversing steps using inverses in the context of fractions and decimals, right? So this is kind of what I was saying. Yes, it's good things to do some mental math, to do things in your head, but you may not be able to rely on that, especially when you see these fractions and decimals. Okay, so let's get to it. I'll just show one or two examples of each, and you guys can have a Desmos window open as well. Use that as your resource to deal with some of these. All right. So 1/3 plus the value of a equals 5/4. So I know it might look more complex with fractions, but we're going to follow all these same steps. Okay, so 1/3 plus a equals 5/4. I need to isolate a. I'm solving for a. You can subtract 1/3 from both sides. Right? So I know it looks ugly, but you can use Desmos. Right? We know we're subtracting 1/3 from both sides. So this is where I'm going to actually go to my calculator, right? 5/4 minus 1/3, right? You don't even do it in your head, right? You know the proper steps. 5/4 minus 1/3. Let the calculator do the work for you. Khan Academy will require that you convert to a fraction, right? So let's go ahead and convert it. The simplified version is 11/12. Okay, so it's as simple as that. 11/12. Done. All right. So I'm going to go through this video pretty fast. You can back up. Rewind if you need to. Okay, I'm gonna do maybe one of each of these examples. Okay, so same steps, but you're just gonna have more complicated numbers. So let's look at this one. Solve the equation k over 1.5 equals 3. So let's do what we can. So some number divided by 1.5 equals 3. Maybe you can do it in your head, but I would recommend that you don't. So let's see what we can do with this, right? We have some number divided by 1.5 equals 3. So we know the reverse of division is multiplying. So let's multiply both sides by 1.5. Multiply both sides by 1.5. That's how we undo that division. Okay, so we get k by itself. 3 times 1.5. Go ahead and do it in your head, but I'm just going to use my calculator to help me out. All right, so I'm going to go here. We had, let me get rid of this guy. So 3 times 1.5, 4.5. So that's it. That should be our answer. Let's plug it in. Done. Okay, so simple in the context of what step you may need to do, right? But when you get the decimal or fraction operation, you'll just have to use a calculator. Okay. All right, moving right along here. 2 steps now. So more complicated. Still fractions, decimals. Let's see how we do it. Okay, what the heck? M over 9 plus 2/3 equals 7/3. So here is your variable, some number divided by 9. If I add it to a 2/3, it's going to equal a 7/3. Okay, so your variable is here, right? That's where your variable is. So it's being divided by 9, and then you're adding 2/3 to it. So I'm going to start by subtracting 2/3 on both sides. I want to get that m over 9 term by itself. Okay, and again, I know it looks complicated, but use your calculator if you need to. This one should be a little bit simpler because on the right side, you have all thirds, right? So 7/3 minus 2/3 should give you 5/3. Okay, they have the same denominator, so a little bit easier to subtract there. But again, use your decimals calculator if you need to. Reduce the fraction, but it should be 5/3. Okay, so that means m over 9 is equal to 5/3. Okay, last step. I have some number divided by 9. I can reverse that by multiplying by 9. Boom, multiplying by 9. So this one I will use my calculator. Let's go 5/3 times 9. 5/3 multiplied by 9, you get 15. So our answer should be 15. All right.